Today I'm going to talk about the books, courses, and communities that have helped give me the knowledge I needed to learn how to self-publish. Right now I'm in the process of self-publishing a series that was traditionally published in 2013. Since then, the rights have been reverted to me and I am polishing the books up, giving them new covers, and publishing them later this year. Since I've never been indie published before, this process has prompted me to do a lot of research. I'm going to share the most impactful resources that have helped me along the way to set up my author business and prepare myself for what I need to do to self-publish this series. For those who learn best by reading, I have a number of books to share with you. In no particular order, we're going to start with Let's Get Digital, How to Self-Publish and Why You Should, the 4th edition, by David Gaughran. This book starts at the beginning of a self-published writer's journey, from choosing your idea, through editing, covers, uploading to book retailers, pricing strategies, through finding your first readers. David Gaughran is incredibly knowledgeable about self-publishing, and this book was so easy to read and understand and had actionable steps on how to prepare a book and self-publish it. When it came to posting on the retailers' websites, David went through the details of publishing to Amazon and noted that most of the other retailers were the same, but noted a few differences. The pricing to win section was extremely informative in that David goes through a practical way of determining what price you should set for your book based on what goals you're looking to achieve, whether that is maximizing your income or building an audience. While all of the strategies can be tweaked for every retailer platform, this book was Amazon heavy, and my strategy for my books is more of a wide mindset, which includes getting my book in as many bookstores as possible to appeal to readers around the world. I took a lot of information from this book. One thing I wanted to mention is that David has a list of resources mentioned in this book on his website and also has a free course as a companion to this book. Recently, I took this course and I 100% recommend it. The next book I'm going to talk about is Successful Self-Publishing, How to Self-Publish and Market Your Book by Joanna Penn. Joanna Penn is a well-known self-published author who is also a prolific podcaster on the Creative Penn podcast. This book goes through the process of what you should be thinking about before you self-publish, publishing an ebook, print book, costs involved, and marketing both fiction and nonfiction. While both Joanna and David's books are similar in nature, I appreciated the reiteration of the concepts from Let's Get Digital, while there was more of a wide mindset when it came to how to be successful, which is an interesting topic in itself. Similarly to David, Joanna lists a ton of resources outside of the book to continue to research different aspects of self-publishing. I enjoyed the marketing section of this book as there were a lot of actionable possibilities for after you published a book, such as creating a backlist, utilizing advertising or free strategies, to building a street team and content marketing. Joanna is such a successful author that any advice she gives pretty much is gold to me. The next book I'm going to talk about is Wide for the Win by Mark Lefebvre. When it comes to the current strategies with self-publishing, there is a debate between becoming exclusive to Amazon by enrolling in the KDP Select program, which is where you make your ebook exclusive to Kindle for 90 days at a time, or going wide, which means that you make your book available on as many different platforms rather than exclusive to Amazon. Prior to reading this book, I was convinced that I was going to start off my series exclusive to KDP for at least the first 90 days of my release. As this is a young adult series, from the research I've done, a lot of young adult series do pretty well on KDP Select. But after I read this book, I have to go wide. Do you want to know why? Because I want to make writing my full-time career. As I said, there are authors who make thousands of dollars a month in KDP Select, and they are absolutely killing it. But my mindset is a little different, and this book showed me the path that I need to follow with my current series. As I'm setting up a new pen name for this series to keep all my young adults separate from my adult novels, I want to also cultivate a new readership. And with the Kindle Unlimited subscription, which are all the books in KDP Select, and are exclusive to Amazon, a lot of those readers tend to be in that binge mindset. They want to read as many books as they can for $9.99 a month. They want to consistently read from the same authors, which means that these authors do what is called rapid release, where they release books very quickly. And while I am setting up this series to be released relatively quickly, I want to show my audience that I am not going to be someone who releases a book every month and what to expect from me. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a rapid releaser. I work full time, I have a child to raise, and a chronically ill senior dog, and a little bit of a life. I can't publish a book a month or fall into whatever is expected of that rapid release mentality. And yes, publishing wide is notoriously slow when it comes to growth, especially as I'm going to do it with a new pen name. But offering these books to more than an Amazon audience will add to the longevity of my author career. This book has so many strategies for each wide platform, not exclusive to the big online retailers. Mark talks about getting your book into libraries and publishing your book direct from your website or platform. The first mindset shift that I've been working on is a wide mindset as a reader, which means I'm not automatically jumping to Amazon whenever I want to look up a book to purchase. While this has been difficult, I've been really trying to explore the other platforms as a reader and will soon discover the back end as a publisher. Along with being inclusive, this mindset also has infinite possibilities of marketing. To its exclusive KDP Select authors, Amazon has its perks with countdown deals and free promotions. And the other vendors have similar promotions as well, which you won't be able to access if you are exclusive to Amazon. An important piece of information is that on several big, wide retailers, there are actual people, not just algorithms, on the other side who want to help you promote your book, and unique promotion opportunities exist for those authors who appreciate these other platforms of publication. I could seriously go on for hours about this book. I absolutely loved it. But I think if you're considering going wide, this is a wealth of information in one rather large book. And as the other books I mentioned, Mark has a resource list on his website for further research. When it comes to visual or auditory learners, I have some courses and some YouTube channels to discuss. The first is Publish and Thrive. So Publish and Thrive is taught by Sarah Cannon. She is a prolific YA author and a YouTuber. This is seriously a crash course into everything self-publishing. If you want to purchase one comprehensive resource to write a book or series and get it up online and market it, this is the course for you. Sarah is a great teacher who dives into all the nitty-gritty about self-publishing, starting with ideas, writing the book, setting up and running your business, uploading the book to the major platforms, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Kobo, and Draft2Digital, publishing your book in print, marketing your book, and keeping that momentum after the book is published. This is also a living course as well, so the moment you buy it, you can join the growing community on Facebook, and with each iteration of the course, Sarah does live Q&As as well. Since I purchased this course in 2020, there have been so many updates, including easier access to old Q&As and master lists of links and resources organized by topic. She is also adding closed captions to all of the videos for accessibility. This is a long course that takes place over 5 weeks. But once you've taken it once, you have lifetime access to the videos and workbooks to reference later, along with the addition of the live Q&As every time she runs the course. Now, if you don't feel like you have the time to take a 5-week-long course, might I suggest Jenna Moressi's Skillshare course, How to Self-Publish Your Book from Start to Finish. This is a 47-minute course giving the steps it takes to self-publish a book from the editing process through publication, including creating your blurb, author bio, formatting, copyright, etc. I enjoyed this class because it was concise, and I always appreciate hearing successful authors' processes when it comes to writing and publishing. And the class project is planning your book cover, which is the most important aspect of marketing a book. She has other courses on Skillshare about digital marketing for authors and planning a book release, which you would get under the same subscription. As I mentioned before, David Gaughran does have a free course called Starting from Zero, and it's all about promoting and marketing your book when you're just starting out self-publishing. There are so many different ways that you can market your book based on single titles or series. And while his book tended to gear a little more toward Amazon, this course focused on the wide mindset along with some differences when it came to Amazon. I took this course in about a week, and I have already accessed it several more times and started to think about all of the principles he put out to think about how I'm going to market my series. I may be a little biased because I am a visual learner, so I always appreciate a good video to help me learn. And where better to find self-publishing resources than the second largest search engine, YouTube. Along with Sarah and Jenna, here are some author tubers that I follow to get all of the self-publishing information. In no particular order, The Courtney Project, Courtney is a self-published author and co-writer of the Kennedy Fox books. She is massively successful, and I always appreciate her advice when it comes to the publication process. Bethany Atazadeh is a young adult, self-published author who is one of the few who dives into the highs and lows of the publishing process and is generous with sharing the behind the scenes of her author business. M.K. Williams is a fiction and nonfiction author who shares the publication process with niche videos about the publishing process on book retailer platforms, along with general advice for self-publishing. Next Level Authors has a podcast and also a YouTube video element with hosts Sasha Black and Daniel Wilcox. I'm a bit more biased here because I do consider them good friends of mine, but their show is both inspiring and entertaining as these two besties hone in on a topic each week about author mindset while encouraging each other in their growing community with their level ups for the week. If you are looking for another free resource, I want to shout out Dan's self-publishing blueprint, free with a newsletter sign up. And he's also coming out with a book later this quarter, which I had the pleasure of beta reading. It is a fantastic resource for an author who is starting out or considering self-publishing. I hope you gained a ton of knowledge from this episode to help you guide your own self-publishing journey. Let me know which of these resources you are most interested in for your self-publishing journey. And as always, if you enjoyed, do hit that like button because it really helps me out. And feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know the next time I upload. And I'll see you soon.